Rugby First Team isn't just a game of rugby. It's 70 minutes sacrificing yourself for something greater than you.
It's in the relentless mornings, the aching muscles, the hours spent pushing past limits that most would never dare to reach.
Passion.
The legacy.
Brotherhood.
It's about giving everything for the man next to you. Because you know he'll do the same for you.
We are playing for those who came before us and for those who will come after us.
It's more than just a team, more than just a game. It's a brotherhood. A family bound together by our passion and love for rugby.
Knowing that every tackle, every pass, every try is a part of something bigger than myself.
It opened my eyes to a new way of life. Because in those moments when you think you have nothing left, when your body is telling you to stop, that's when you find out who you really are.
This season, we play with heart, we play with pride, and we leave everything on the field.
It's where the pain is temporary, but the bonds we forge and the lessons we learn stay with us forever.
When everything feels like it's breaking, you look beside you. You see your brothers standing in the same fire, and that's when the darkness fades. You fight, not as individuals, but as one.
It's not just about winning or losing, it's about the spirit of the game, the love for the battle, and the lessons it teaches us.
This is more than rugby. This is who we are. This is our brotherhood.
This is why we love it. This is why we love it.
This is why we love it.
This is why we love it.
This is why we love it.
This is why we love it.
This is why we love it.
This is why we love it.
This is why we love it.
very warm welcome to one and all that have joined us here for the live stream of the first match of the season. Just running through the lineups here for today. At 1 we've got Sandler, 2 we've got Jake Gould, and at 3 we have Tubbs. Really an absolutely massive front row. At 4 we've got Ethan Gruzen joining up with Judd Hershowitz. At 5, open side flank we've got Camberg, 8th man Savi Katz, and Kalner, the vice captain for today, at blind side. Rubenson and Claff are the 9 and 10. Claff also captain for the side. Norwich and Sklar complete the centre pairings, with the back 3 being fulfilled by Schill, Graf and Joffe. Very warm welcome to one and all here tonight for the first game of the season. My name is John. Very privileged to be joining commentary tonight with Ivamar. And it has across the field. So beautiful to see the new high performance centre. Really state of the art structure for all of the students. Anyway, back to the rugby. David Ball, Levi. The question is, what will we see from this opening move here in the opening few minutes of this game?
I think whatever happens now, it's really going to set the tone for the rest of the game. Seems like a nice steady scrum over there.
Savi picks up and goes. Rubenson, Graf, chips it through. I have a neatly cleaned up there.
Ball taken by time.
And Graf makes a hit. However, the referee has deemed it offsides. Restart penalty to CBC.
When I was driving in here today, just to see all the under-14s coming out of Gilmore Park, seeing like a lot of rugby going on. Like, what is this opening game of the season? What does it mean to the school? Like, and what did the team do to get to this moment today?
Yeah, I think this first game here has huge amounts of gravitas for the season. It's really the first massive game next week at home again against Ram Park, which will be the first league game of the season. And really tonight's an opportunity to test your systems, test your structures, as well as your combinations, which really tonight and today across the board will be the first time any of this has been seen. All right, CBC restarting here with a hook with a line out. And they go for a maul. Penalty advantage to CBC. Deemed that King David was offsides. They're still going. The CBC number 6 did some great work there. But one has to say, quite a frantic start to this game. Bit of helter-skelter, as they like to call it.
I think CBC is always a great fixture. I remember my first grade 8 game was also against CBC. We played in Boksburg.
Quick tap and go there by CBC. They're on the counter. Strong carry from the hooker, but met with equal defence. And that's another advantage to CBC. Great tackle there from Sandler, the loose head prop. However, they were still playing with a penalty advantage. Eva, just the turnout here tonight. I think it's quite...
Yeah, it's an unbelievable atmosphere out here tonight to see almost the whole school out to support. We've got some old boys on
Got some young boys, guys, still in primary school. So King David said they actually made the trek.
And even some of
Beautiful to see.
even some of the guys from primary school too. I do believe like the first team is that beacon of hope for the younger rugby players. Like, what is it coming out to watch their team?
Yeah, you know, King David Rugby really does unite the community. It's something quite special. But the entire South African Jewish community unites in support of the Blues. Anyway, CBC on the attack here with a great set. Strong maul. And that is the first try of the game with CBC claiming the spoils. A score there by the CBC hooker, Max Senvitz. A really good score there. Strong maul. Unfortunately, the King David defense just wasn't up to standard there. Can the CBC fly half Cullen Petersa add on the extra 2 points? To the uprights, 7-0 CBC. Levi, I want us to say quite a strong start to this game by CBC. Maybe somewhat unexpected.
Yes, and I think that's the game's the game. The team's got to come out firing, and on a home ground, we're just going to show them what we have. And as they say,
Game on for sure it is. And Graf to restart here. Quite a flat kick there. And it's ripped in contact there, build on the attack. And Rubenson to know it. Unfortunately, the ball in hand. We will restart with a King David scrum.
a set piece in quite a nice position here. Like, what might they do at this?
Yeah, you know, if you ask a coach what set piece they would want, they will answer you every single day of the week. A midfield scrum, 22 meters out. You can attack from both sides here. The defensive side have to make a call. Can we see some magic from the King David backline, the first team backline of 2025? First up, a decently strong scrum with a penalty advantage. Rubenson to Claff. Sklar. Met there. Same side, Rubenson almost through there. And we will come back for the penalty advantage. And it's a quick tap. Tubbs. Through one. And Sander! On the line, millimeters from a try. Eva, I want us to say much more promising from a King David point of view.
Yeah, a bit disappointed not to be able to dot it out at the end, but to see that forward one, gosh, now, like to just see the energy in that 22, it's a really good start from us. Just got to keep up the momentum.
Yeah, it seems as though that try conceded by King David has really sprung the first team to life. CBC with huge amount of pressure here on this 5 line out. Can Judd or Kelner or Gruzen steal it? No. Safe ball for CBC. They send it one phase. They knock it on. It should be a try. And that's down. First try to King David Linksfield. Try scored by Judd Hershevitz. What a start. That is the opening points for King David High School Linksfield. The 2025 season.
Back on.
And that take. And that takes the score to 7-5 to King David Linksfield. Try scored by Judd Hershevitz. 7-all. And that takes the score to 7-all. Levi, even Stevens, as they like to call it.
We came to watch a game, and I think that is the nature of the first team game. It's going to be pressure. It's going to be tight. But Jared, what is it like the team? Like it's quite a blow to take to concede early on, but to come back straight away and respond. It's really nice to see. It shows a lot of heart.
That is for sure. Great take there from Sklar. Unfortunately, is tackled out there, so it will be a CBC attacking line out on the 22. Great vibes here, Levi. Just so many fans, both from obviously the home side, the King David Linksfield supporters, as well as the CBC supporters. So beautiful that rugby season of 2025 has continued. Great steal there from King David. Camberg can't get out the 22. Rubinson and Graf exits with a great exit there. Pushing play just inside his half.
So note on the atmosphere, just also looking at the environment we're in. Like after the nice rainy season, the Norman Silent field is just looking so green, so luscious. Such a nice field to play on.
Yeah, it's looking great. It really is. Absolutely magnificent. Anyway, another strong defensive set here required from the King David Linksfield side, and in particular the back line. And CBC retain possession. Pitasa, knock on there, met man and ball by Sklar. And that's a great turnover there by the first side. Rubinson, Graf, and Graf, silky feet. And that will restart with a King David lineout.
The crowd is absolutely loving it. Everyone on their feet enjoying the game.
Yes, it will be a King David line out. Restart here. Jake Bold, Mr. Versatile last year, played tight end prop, however, has transitioned beautifully to hooker this year. Unfortunately, that throw not going straight in.
No, boys are really looking in good shape at the beginning of the season. Like, just Josh, what did it take them to get to this position? Like, what type of preparation have they been doing in the preseason? What's it been looking like?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a ton of hard work. It's sacrifice. You know, these boys have been training since last October. And it's competitive. You know, we've got 3 teams in the open setup this year, close on 50 rugby players to pick from. So competition is tough, and it's hard work and grit. And really, you know, just a huge credit goes out to these boys that have put up their hands and that have been selected for this first side, because it hasn't come easy. Also, interesting to note that there is a strong grade 11 presence in the side. Really, the 16 last year, having quite a few players from that side starting here tonight. As the war cries begin, the vibe is just getting better and better and better.
How important is this vibe for the players on the field?
It really is. Strong scrum there from King David. CBC still with the ball. Exited there.
Connected by Graf. On the counter. Pass out wide to Craft. We just couldn't.
Unfortunately, just shot
serious legs.
Serious feet. Burnt on the outside there. Levi, that is a try against the runner play. It was looking so promising from an attacking point of view. Yeah, just ended up getting burnt on the outside.
So from one counter attack to another, that's a good game we got on our hands, and just got to keep the head up and see what happens now.
Some serious pace on the outside there from Leslie, the CBC 14. The kick was successful, taking the score to 14 points to 7 in favour of CBC Boksburg. The restart wasn't regathered, no it! Couldn't slice through there. Sander goes, finds Tabiso. And Bill's getting stuck in there as well. Hershevitz met man and Bull there. Strong wave of CBC defense. Claff. And no roll there from CBC. So King David receiving a penalty.
Taking it quickly. Out in the corner. Trotter.
We'll leave out that response. You go down 7, back up. What a try there from Branchel. Right King, right back, taking the score. 14 points to 12 with a conversion to come.
That's an unbelievable response. You just got to stay in the game.
That's it. You know, Levan, I think it's expected. At the first hit out of the season, there are going to be mistakes. There's going to be teething errors, but it's really about how you respond and how you pick yourselves up. And we couldn't have asked for a more perfect response to that try being conceded. Can Graf make a 2 from 2 here? By far his most difficult kick of the day thus far. Graf connects. Sends it straight. 14 all. Levi, we have a game on our hands. You know, Levi, once you've just scored, they say you are most vulnerable. All King David needs to do now is regather this kickoff and exit. Get the ball out safely. Eventually they do, with Sklar regathering. And they've awarded themselves a penalty. No release there from CBC. Bit of attitude being shown there, and King David have been awarded another 10 meters. You don't always see that, Levi.
It always comes down to discipline, and you know, sometimes we'll go your way and sometimes go the other team's way, but I think you remain disciplined, get that bread and butter out. Got to respect the laws of the game, got to respect what you're doing, and slowly we see the results.
100%, and that is a great touch finder there by King David. Really setting up an attacking line-out option here. What will we see from this back line? Will Savi be carrying it up? build. Fans cruising. It isn't clean, but King David still with the ball. Savvy. Still Savvy. Unbelievable carry that. Putting his team right on the front foot. Rubinson, Claff with a little dig through there. Graf can't find it. And unfortunately, in from the side, penalty to CBC.
Really enjoying the intensity our boys are showing us tonight.
And I must say, one of the also so great to see 3 referees here tonight. One match of main referee, but also 2 assistant referees, really just ensuring that this game is fair as well as played in good spirits.
You know, as I just look out of this game and I look at the sun setting, it's like this feeling of nostalgia. I always feel like the sun waits and it sets really slowly when the first team get to take the field.
Always immaculate lighting just before the first side run through the tunnel. CBC just being awarded a free kick.
Is this the welcome committee or the royal board?
Not a huge amount of distance found there on the touch finder. Thanks. CBC still not out the woods here. Still trapped inside their 22. And I think, Levi, that is our first substitute of the day, with number 20 entering the field. Great contest there from Gruzen, and King David have won themselves a scrum. Great work there, huge amounts of pressure building up.
We're just got a really nice position here. Like, well, what's the backline looking to do? What might come from this? What's going through their mind?
Yeah, you might see a bit of an inside out here, an angles as we used to call it. But really big contest there at scrum time. Rubinson gets it out, finds Claff. Norwich, short ball to score. I thought he was through there. Seems as though they're playing with an advantage. Still. Savi gets Vetman and ball there, and they will come back for the penalty. The ref calling it back. Penalty kick. The question is, what will they do? Tap and go seems to be the option. Savi carrying hard. Good clean there. Rubinson to Judd. And the ball's being quickly recycled. However, it was from an offside position. The other question is, at what point does the card come out? How many consecutive penalties? And Judd with another strong carry there. And Rubinson being wrapped up there.
Our boys spend quite a bit of time at 22 now, just about keeping that ball going. How long can we keep it up until we get the breakthrough?
You know, you see, I think it's just about composure and staying true to your system. And, you know, the points will come. The points will come, but it's all just about complete composure. Will they go again for a free kick? I'm sure Claff is asking the referee how many more penalties before the card comes out. And inevitably they decide to go for poles.
I think it's a good option always. If you have an opportunity to get points in a tight game like this, always not.
And also, David will take the lead this game. Goes completely quiet for the kicker.
So I don't think the assembly gets this quiet.
And Graf adds another 3, taking the score to 17 points to 14.
So he seems just under 9 minutes left of the first half.
And Graf converts the penalty, taking the score to 17 points to 14. Levi One does feel that this game has most definitely settled down into a calming, a rhythm. It's not as frantic as it was in the beginning. Knock on there from CBC off the restart, and it will be a King David scrum.
Josh, do you have any memories of yourself playing against CBC?
I do. I have a memory of my under 14 and under 15 game. Always a great game against CBC. We were winners that day, and really was one of the games in the fixtures of every single season that we used to look forward to. Feeds. However, that scrum has been turned, and the ref will take him back for the scrum penalty. Levi, for CBC, what do you feel the right option to do here is? Do you take the 3 points?
If I was CBC, I think I want to make a statement on at the away game. So it looks like they want big points.
Indeed they do. Can King David hold them out? That is the question. Will they be able to hold them out? This is a huge moment in the game as we draw to the end of the first half. Who will go into the halftime breakup?
There's always that interesting part of the half. It's 6 minutes, 5 minutes to go, and there's one team who wants the half to end, and one team wants it to go on a bit longer.
Always. And that's another penalty to CBC. That ball was held up, but they will come back for the penalty, illegally collapsing the ball. And there was a knock on in there. King David will have the scrum put in. Levi, definitely a huge let off there for the King David side.
I'm on your seat.
How are you, boys?
What's up, man?
Strong scrum there. And Norwich with a decent carry, somewhat getting his team out of trouble there. And Claff to exit. Doesn't find touch. And CBC on the counter here. CBC. Great hit there from John. It turned over, but there was a knock-on in there.
The pressure's not off.
No, definitely not.
So a bit of a battle of the center in here. Nice. Supporting our boys all the way through.
Huge battle going on here. Just incredible vibe. We care deeply about this, but it's also everybody just coming together and feeling a part of something far bigger than themselves.
Honestly, I think one of the reasons rugby is such a good game to bring people together because it requires everyone. It requires all shapes and sizes. Everyone has to do their job for a common goal, and I think it really inspires the rest of the school. Those who look at who's playing in the field, I can see, wow, look what they can do when they work together. And I think it really does create a good energy and really is a big building block of our community.
No, Levi, I think that is so true. I mean, just speaking of the number of games we've had today, there has been a total rugby games taking 8 rugby games taking place today with 19 David teams participating, just showing the keenness for involvement in rugby and every single age group putting out 2 sides, with the first side having a first, second and third side. CBC with a great attacking scrum over here. Anything of it advantage. And Pitasa, can he make his way through? No, which wraps him up and sends him 4 yards backwards. Levi, the defense seems to be holding up so far. Can they do it for a few more phases here to keep CBC out? And that was as clear obstruction as one would ever see, with us coming back to the scrum penalty. And again, they decide to go for the line, opting out for the points. The amazing thing is that at this point in time, David Linksfield is still 3 points up, with 2 kickable penalties being turned down by CBC. Will these decisions cost them, or will the gamble pay off? And that's a knock-on in the lineup by CBC. Another missed opportunity. No, Levi, there's an old saying that goes, take your points.
Yeah, I think it's still relevant today.
Most definitely. It's about getting that balance right. There's a time to go and have a crack out wide, but there's also time just to build a bit of pressure and keep the scoreboard ticking.
As you approach the end of the half, I feel that the weather actually has dropped slightly. It's good to see the bench warming up. Should be ready for the second half.
Most definitely, and I think there was quite a bit of concern about rain in the area for today, but it's been dry and great rugby conditions. Good running rugby being displayed here today out on the Norman Sandler main field. And the scrummy set seems to be stabilising. And that brings a close to the first half. with King David going into the break, leading CBC Boksburg by 17 points to 14.
You had me back for the second half. King David 17-14 to CBC, and Graf to kick us off. Nicely collected by Graf. Can't find touch, charge down. Quick tap. A bit of a shaky start to the second half. The Clough finds touch and sets us up in a nice position. Really good position for this line out, Josh. What's going through our players' mind? What can we make do it this early on into the second half?
Yeah, you're probably going to see a crash ball in the middle here and then maybe send it out wide. However, that line out doesn't go to hands. Huge let off there for CBC Boksburg, as that could have been quite a dangerous play there. Somewhat of an exit there. Regathered magnificently there by the CBC number 7, Carl Galliot. Unfortunately, there's a knock on, and it will be a scrum to King David.
He didn't get too much distance on the kick, but that gather and go got him about 30 meters.
Yeah, that was a great showcasing of skill there. Another decent attacking opportunity, one has to say here.
Let's go, Sabi!
And this backline be sparked to life. Will Sabi pick and go? Levi, one has to say that really is about your performance ultimately in the second half that determines the result. A really closer competitive first half, but we will edge it out here in the second. Still got 32 minutes, just short of 32 minutes left of rugby to be played here this evening. Rubinson, and out it goes to Clough. Clough with a really good kick there, finding grass. Bit of an awkward bounce there for the CBC fullback to deal with. And he finds touch right on the halfway mark.
Been quite a stop-start to the second half. We'll see, maybe we'll get some ball flow in.
Bold to feed. Still can't find his jumper, but they're playing with a knock-on advantage. Savi finds Camberg. Camberg, good carry there, getting over the advantage line. And there's no roll there. We will come back for the knock-on advantage.
Just before they set the scrum, myself as a backline player I used to be, I never spent any time in the scrum. Like, tell us, what's it like? What is it like for that front row? What's going through his mind right now? What's his job? What does he have to do? Like, what's it like in that scrum right now?
It's just about grit, determination, and who will break first. But it's far tougher than what meets the eye. Really, it's an all 8-man effort. And that ball squirts out the back there. Rubinson to Claff. Claff attacking the blind side. Finds Schill. Schill with a bit of space here. Schill is still going there. And that is a hard tackle. Definitely hard there. Potentially a questionable penalty try on the cards. Seems not.
Excellent piece of acceleration from Bradshaw over there.
You know, Levi, there's just nothing like out and out pace. Nothing. And King David looking to kick this one into the corner to set up another attacking line-out opportunity. Can Bulls finally get his line-outs right? King David desperately need to find their jumpers here, because this setup is looking promising. Still can't find his man, unfortunately. And CBC with yet another let-off.
A nice spot.
And it's a maul.
Looks like we've turned it over.
Turned over there magnificently. Staying in the fight there is King David. Rubinson, Camberg. Met there. And Savi bounces his first opponent, almost sneaking through there. And another penalty to King David Linksfield. The question is, it's now decision time. What will they do? Will they go for points? Will they go for the line?
You know, it's these type of decisions that make or break a season, and you know, it's a lot of pressure. But I think it's not necessarily about the decision as well, making the decision right.
And they go for a tap and go here. Judd. Short. And Norwich! Over for a try! Beautiful line there from Norwich.
That's the start we're looking for in that second half.
And Zach Norwich slides through the defence there, scoring King David's third try, taking the score to 22 points to 14, with a conversion to come. Graf, who hasn't missed from the kicking tee today, can he slot his fourth kick? And the crowd goes silent. Not this time. The score is 22 points to 14. Levi, you just feel that it's another score at least for King David to start feeling a little bit more comfortable with where they're at in this game.
No, I think we just starting from that attack by Shaw, we got us into the position. We maintain our composure in the 22, and you know we got away with points. I think it's a really positive move for our team, and still a lot of rugby left to play. It's really exciting to watch them.
Still got 25 minutes of rugby ahead of us, and that kick is not going to go 10. And Levitt, first touch of the game, coming off the bench there. And Graf was tripped through there, so he has earned his team a penalty just inside their half. And Claff. Doesn't find touch. And CBC deep inside their 22 here seem to be looking to counter-attack from the back. And Joffrey magnificently does well there. And Sklar tightens things up there. And it is a penalty to CBC. Levi, you still get the sense that this game is in the balance, despite with King David having a lead of 22 points to 14.
I think the game's never over until it's over, and I'd rather have the players feel that the game's in the balance, which keeps them to play hard throughout. Give up now.
No, for sure. CBC now with a great attacking line out here. What will they do? What will come from this? Seems as though they're going to be setting a maul. And CBC set up the maul. Great initial shove there. And King David have managed to stop it. Some really strong defense being shown there. But it is under a penalty advantage. And beautifully cleaned up there at the back by Schill, but we will come back for a penalty. And CBC have opted to go yet for another liner option. Levi time and time again turning down the points.
Good job. Very good.
Grusin trying valiantly to keep it out, but yet they still manage to set the ball and they are moving forward. It seems to be caught right in the middle there. King David seems to have done a beautiful job. The first call of use it comes, and that is magnificent defense there from the pack. Really showing their grit when it was needed most. We will have a restart of a scrum to King David Linksfield.
We talk about it's really good defense, and I know hours and hours of work go into the defense. You, Josh, having played and coached some of the younger years, sometimes a bit of the smaller players here, how do you install that defensive drive into teams that when we believe we are a bit smaller, we are a bit scrawnier, so how do we get that defense to such a level? What's it all about?
Levi, I'll say like this to you, it's actually got nothing to do with size or the size of your biceps. It's all got to do with the heart. And King David has always prided itself on the immense heart shown in every single player, ultimately punching far above our weight. Rubinson to Graf. Graf having a crack from deep. Dangerous play, but somehow works out there. Claff really playing on the edge is King David Linksfield, and they knock it on. With a scrum to CBC, again, in an absolutely prime position that any attacking coach would be licking their lips.
But Josh, having mentioned now that it's all about the heart, how do you train it? Where does it come from? What does it mean to these boys to run out on the field?
I think it comes down to belief and belief that they can achieve. Obviously, there's technique in that and there's coaching in that, but ultimately it's about, once a player has that belief or clicks over that they can start believing in themselves that they can actually do this and they can actually be successful, the results are quite incredible. But no, Levi, you cannot coach heart. It's something that someone either has or they don't, and you hope that with time that does evolve. CBC 9-10, neat little back ball there to 15, but it is a knock-on. Another squandered opportunity. King David will have the restart, the scrum. And as the game moves on into the final 20 minutes, the vibes are just getting better and better and better. With the scrap, needs to simply just get it in and out and exit. And Graf finds a great exit there. Magnificent kick there from Gavi. Right back into the CBC 22. Strong chase of Lanya as well.
The ball pops up back into the middle.
And Ashton Mervis has also entered the field. Ashton, can he link up with Dunn? Yes, he can. But Dunn is tackled out. Looking very, very promising and definitely a lot of excitement.
No, really nice.
Being felt.
You know, like 2 seconds ago we were deep inside our 22 and now we're into a good position in that 10.
What a song, Eva. One of my absolute favourites. One of the classics, also part of the Ellis Park playlist. I should know. Unbelievable stuff. CBC with another line out. Can King David steal it here? One has to say the CBC line out has been unbelievably resolute tonight. Another beautiful line out there from CBC. 10 cutout ball. Doesn't get past the 12 channel. And still, they having a full-blown crack here from deep in their half. Picked up there by Shull. It's on out wide if they can swing it. And Rubinson kicks straight into the 15. Bit of ping pong going on now, but we will restart with a King David line out just inside their 22. To why CBC has the line out, that is because of the 50-22 law. If one kicks the ball out from within, if they are inside their half and they kick the ball out into the opposition's 22 with a bounce, they will have that line out. And we restart here with the line out. CBC going for the more yet again. They believe they can get success from this. Still moving, still going forward. And they still have the ball. 12.
Could this be held up?
And CBC have just been awarded a penalty. And CBC yet again turning down the points and going for the line-out.
I think they might go for a maul again. Old saying, if it's broken, don't fix it, and they have been pretty decent at it. But I think our team, have we found a way to defend it?
Hey, but one is to commend that for the last two mauls, we've done a really good job in stopping it. Really, really good job. We will need to do it again now with just a 8-point lead The score 22 points to 14 in favour of King David Linksfield. Just more than a converted try ahead of CBC at this point in time, and they set another more on the go. The forward pack of King David Linksfield will need to front up. They seem to have stopped it, put it to a halt. It's use it once call has come. Seven plays there to the 13. CBC looking quite sharp inside here, the 22, with their tight head prop, with a strong carry. Out the back there to the fly half. Graf went for the intercept there, didn't pay off. And Build with a huge tackle out wide there. And it is a penalty advantage to CBC for a high tackle. What about the discipline and the number of tackles being conceded for both sides tonight has been quite high. CBC still on the attack here. King David seems to have started a maul. Indeed, we will go back for the penalty on the left-hand side of the park. Levi, the question is, what will CBC do? Will they keep persisting at their maul?
It seems like he went for a quick tap over here.
Tap and go.
So, it looks like he rushed it a little bit. I think these are really tough moments for the team. I think as spectators, we often think, oh, let's just get on, turn it over and get on with the game. But I think for the players themselves, they're really putting a big effort now to hold them out for this long.
And Mervis needing to make a huge tackle, doesn't. And CBC score out wide, making the score 22 points to 19. Levi, that is a massive score at this point in the game, with nearly just over 12 minutes to play.
And we'll see after this conversion if he may get the points and brings the game in within one score. With 12 minutes to go, it really, as you said, it's not over until it's over, and it's all about how do we respond from here.
Indeed, that is the question. This to take the score to 22 points to 21. This will cut down King David's lead to just 1 point. A huge kick in the context of this game. And straight through the uprights, that one goes with the conversion scored by Cullen Petter. Levi, we now have a 1 point game on our hands. A massive 11 and a half minutes is all I can say.
I think our team's been here before. All teams have been here before. So what does it take? What does it require?
EMT, you need to be composed. Penalties need to be kept at an absolute minimum. And when an opportunity does present itself, you have to take it with both hands and convert it into points. Graf kicks off. And a huge exit there from
Really
CBC, pushing King David right back into their half.
But it's not just going to find a lot of old boys standing on that touchline giving their support.
Yeah, always really special to see. But speaking of that, a huge line out here for King David. They need to retain possession and they need to build a bit of territory. Unfortunately, they can't do yet with a skew throw at line of time. We'll restart with the scrum to CBC. Again, Leo with a great attacking opportunity here. Great field position. Can King David pull one back for their side here? And a strong scrum there from CBC, still with the ball, out to the 10, can't gather it, but cleaned up by the 12. However, the ref's calling it back for a penalty, must have been at scrum time. And CBC will kick this one deep into the that is an unbelievable kick right onto the farm. A huge moment here for King David. Lever BMT. Huge defensive effort needed here.
I think these defensive moments are really these opportunities where you get to say, I'm going to show up for my teammates. And I think it really brings out a lot of heart. Like what a privilege it is to defend with your team. See what they can do with it.
A line out gone around. But CBC still with the ball, still with an attacking opportunity there. However, King David drive them out and they will have a line out. Another strong defensive effort there. And Colts. Can we exit? Not part of the woods there, Levi. Still a huge threat here from CBC. Still inside the 22. Yet again with another line out. With just over 6 minutes to play. And another line out goes around. The 12 is cleaned up. The 12 still going. And King David has been awarded a penalty. There seemed to have been a double movement out there.
Really, really tense moments. We're asked to have an opportunity to clear our line.
David with the feet out, the line out just inside their 22. Will they have a crack? Try to get a bit of territory here. Will they just kick it upfield? But first comes first is a line out, a good line out throw. And they send it straight over the top. Cleaned up there by the CBC hooker. And another strong carry from the CBC Boksburg to number 7, Carl Galliot. And it's a penalty to Poles with 5 minutes to go. Levi, surely these guys will go for Poles.
I think maybe they'll go for the line out and ball.
No,
It
they
seems
are
like
going for goals with just under 5 minutes. The pressure will be exerted fully back onto King David's Linksfield. And straight through the upright, that one goes. CBC now lead King David Linksfield by 24 points to 22.
A huge opportunity to respond here, to change your mindset. What can we do at this moment? Is it, can we bring it back just in time?
Huge.
What an opportunity it is.
Yeah,
And they dig into that energy and bring it back.
And Lima, this is where the men are separated from the girls. The men are separated from the boys. And that's a very average kick from CBC straight up. Can King David regather? Seems to be advantage to CBC with a maul being held up there. And King David with the ball, Levitt. And King David lose the ball there, CBC. And a huge moment needed to have from King David. CBC still with the ball. And it seems as though King David, CBC have been awarded another advantage. Out the back there, knock on. Ref didn't pick that one up. And it's a knock on by CBC. King David will have the scrum feed with just over. A scrum, yeah, the biggest scrum of the game for King David Linksfield. They will need to front up properly and start building some field position here with just under 2 minutes left to play. It is down to the dying moments of this game. David play quickly. Graf, Sklar. Sklar still going. Sklar! Can't find anyone on his outside. And Graf, Ravi Graf. Kirky. And Clef. Clef to Hershevitz. Hershevitz with a strong carry there.
A huge amount of it.
CBC Boksburg off their feet. King David Linksfield have been awarded a penalty. And Graf, Gavi Graf, Gavi Graf! Gavi Graf, does he need, where's his support? Eventually tackled. King David are just a few meters out here. And Hershevitz. And Tubbs keeping it nice and close. A strong carry there. King David are just a few meters out. Sandler.
Boys throwing everything at last 2 moments of the game.
Almost sliding through there. And King David have been awarded a penalty. The question is, in this final moment, what will they do? Will they go for poles to win it or go for the line? And a tap and goes what they go with. Tabiso! Tabiso! And it's been recycled. This game is absolutely on and off edge here.
Well, everyone at the edge of their seats here. Everyone actually on their feet. Those are fighting moments of the game, throwing everything at it.
And Norwich coming in on a hard 45 there. Can't penetrate the CBC defence. And Astra does magnificently there to regather the ball. And Tubbs keeping it tight around the edges there with a pick and go. And Judd with another strong carry. And it is a penalty to CBC Boksburg. And ladies and gentlemen, that is it for this evening, with CBC Boksburg taking the spoils by 24 points to 22. Thank you all for those that have tuned in. Levi, it's been an absolute pleasure. Next week we take on Rampark in the first league game of the year. See you there.